Hello, I thought I would make another video. It's been a little while. It is like April 9th today. I had surgery March 14th. So on Tuesday, I will be 1 month out of gastric bypass. And the first 2 weeks were really easy, ridiculously easy. The third week has been really challenging, and it continues to be a challenge. And what I mean by that is that I am really exhausted and I'm really tired and I can't think straight. I had my second post-op appointment on Friday, and I've been pretty lucky. I thought I would be pretty nauseous this whole time, and at my appointment on Friday, I actually had only one other day where I'd been nauseous, and so we talked through that and decided maybe my body just doesn't like that food. In this case, it was ham, and so I don't know if it was too fibrous or what, but it made me sick the night before, that Thursday night. Also in review, so I'm, an incredible strict rule follower, and I have been doing the 2 ounces of pureed food with a protein shake every day, and that puts me at about 250 to 300 calories a day and 40 grams of protein, 38 to 40, which is really low. So the lowest they want me at is 300 calories and 60 grams of protein. So the range is 300 to 600 calories, 60 to 80 grams of protein, and that's tough. That's really difficult to have a 2 ounce serving of something and still have enough consistency to add in protein powder and still have it be something that you can stomach and eat. So my protein shake has been really good for me. We have talked about adding in maybe a glass of milk, even though it's calories that I would be drinking, just to help me get up to my nutrition. The scale hasn't moved in a week, probably because my body is starving and not getting nutrients, so it's hanging on to kind of everything right now. My fluid intake is okay, but protein and calories were pretty low. So starting to add that in. I also transitioned to soft foods, and I want to say that's gone okay. That's a whole different challenge. I did successfully have a little bit of hamburger at a friend's house, and cut a regular burger in half, and then cut it up into itty bitty pieces, and then chew, and that stayed down fine. I also got to try cantaloupe and really liked cantaloupe. That's a fruit that before surgery I felt like it was okay, but I actually loved it, so that was nice. And when I say a little bit, that means I had like a single cube of cantaloupe and a little bit of burger, and I think that's all I tried at that meal. But then I went to a baseball game that night, and what was really great about the baseball game is that they have a salad bar. And so I went to the salad station, and they were so kind, and they just put a couple toppings for me in the bowl and let me eat that. So I had grilled chicken, which I'd had chicken, and I'd had egg. But I also got to try some diced up bell peppers, and those went down okay and stayed down okay. So it was nice to have a great option at the baseball game, and they didn't charge me, which was really, really, really kind. Today I tried cauliflower tots, which should be just the addition of cauliflower since I've had cheese and been doing okay with cheese. I've also had green chili, and I put green chili on top of the cauliflower tots, and some melted cheese and some protein powder was mixed into the green chili. That didn't stay down at all. So on a day like today, where I started the morning with some eggs, and those really fill me up, so I didn't even have 2 ounces of food at that meal, and then was full for 8 hours. Like, so full I couldn't drink without it being incredibly painful. And then finally felt like I could eat, and then I ate, and then I got sick. So it's tough. It's not, I don't think it's something that anybody could have prepared me for, how difficult it would be. I don't regret my decision, but it is incredibly difficult. And I think, you hear people talk about like, oh, gastric bypass is the easy way out. And I would challenge anybody to consistently feel chronic pain of your muscles not having enough nutrients and the soreness and little things like your arms being so tired that holding your cell phone hurts, or sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and just not feeling like you are rested enough, or going to brush your eyebrows and starting to and seeing how many of your little eyebrow hairs are falling out because your body doesn't have the nutrition it needs, or your muscles cramping randomly, on top of vomiting, or still trying to figure out how you're going to hit your goals for the day of getting protein in and getting fluids in, and let alone how you're going to get your vitamins in. And I start adding in calcium twice a day, sublingual B12 twice a day. I go back to adding vitamin D in on top of my multivitamin that I'm taking. So it's a regimen, and everything has to be timed because you can't take your calcium at the same time you take your multivitamin. So all of this to say, it's a lot more challenging than I was expecting. It's frustrating to know you're an active person and you want to get out and go do things. And yesterday was awesome. I was able to do a ton. And today I've been pretty tired, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But definitely a challenge, and we'll just take it one day at a time. I'm sure it'll get better. It has to get better. Of course, I will talk to my doctor. The other thing that's really interesting, and it's a positive negative, is that my clothes don't fit. So I thought I would probably have 1 or 2 months in my clothes, and pretty quickly have dropped down to my clothes not really fitting, which I guess should make sense because most of the stuff in my closet also fit me 60 pounds ago. So I don't know why I thought that it would fit so much longer. But really in the last, 25 pounds that I've lost since surgery, it's interesting because I go to get ready for work in the morning, and like my pants pull up to underneath my bra, and then there's just a ton of excess room in the waist, and not all of them have belt loops, so I can just like put a belt on it, or they're now way too long because there's so much excess fabric. And so my grand plan was to just wear dresses, and that's all good and well, except for they gape where your chest should be filled in, or they just kind of hang funny off of you. So not at a point where I'm rushing out to buy new clothes. A friend of mine did give me some clothes, which was really sweet. But yeah, it's also a challenge to get ready for work in the morning, especially when it's a professional position where I wear a suit jacket and slacks or dress or skirt normally. So I've gotten creative with some stuff, but it'll be interesting to see what I do. And a lot of people have suggested that I do clothes rental, which I'm not opposed to. The issue is that, like, I've looked at 2 major brands, and the one that I was most likely to try, their clothes weren't necessarily as professional as what I normally wear, but I could make it work. You can only have like 3 pieces out at a time for $99 a month. And so if you think about, by the time somebody ships something to you and you have 3 articles of clothes, like 3 blouses or a pair of pants and 2 blouses, you're not really going to get the full amount of what you could wear in a work week out of that. For $99 a month, I could realistically probably go buy some inexpensive clothes at a thrift store, or a discount store like Ross or TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something. So that'll probably be in my future. I need to go through all of my clothing, and I mean, it's very cool to know that everything in my closet fits. As far as like, there's not really anything in there that's too tight, or that I can't wear, which is awesome. But on the flip side of that, that also means there's a lot that's pretty baggy on me. My favorite suit has officially been retired, and that kind of thing. So it's a fun adventure. It's crazy. It requires a lot of my brain power, so it's fairly consuming, which is funny because I'm also really not as smart as usual on limited calories. Like, words just don't come to me as naturally, and I often forget in the middle of a sentence what I was about to say, or forget what I've told people. Like, I've met a couple people recently, of course, by nature of my job, and get a good way into the conversation before I can't remember if I've actually introduced myself or not. So sometimes it's kind of embarrassing stuff like that. But people have all been really nice about it. My colleagues have been really great. Obviously, my boss sending me home to sleep like 3 different days this week was exceptionally kind. So yeah, it's a challenge, and it will get better, I hope. If not, I'll be calling my doctor's office again this week to figure out something else, or at least get a pep talk. But I will keep you posted. I'll try to write more, since this is not the happiest one that I've done, but I'll try to write more soon. Just know it's a lot of work, and it's different, and I don't know if anybody can really prepare you for life after gastric bypass, even if it goes fairly well. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon.